So it's currently Tuesday afternoon. It's about 3 o'clock, but I haven't really been doing too much. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Um, it's almost been like my pre-fight break. So, and this is just a me thing, but about 2 to 3 weeks before I've got a fight, I usually like to plan an event or a weekend where I essentially just step away from everything. Um, and that allows me to kind of mentally reset. So obviously with these, like, training for fights, it's, there's a lot of pressure at times. It's not just the boxing side of it that makes it difficult. It's more the obviously the competing in front of a few hundred people. Essentially, you've planned to fight someone with loads of people watching, so it's more psychological in terms of physical in a certain regard. Especially when you're kind of doing amateur stuff where, you've actually got a lot of protection. You've got a head guard, you've got 16-ounce gloves. So if you've got all your wits about you, it's not easy to get hurt. But it is very, very easy to get inside your own head. It's very easy to panic, stress, waste all your energy, do too much, do too little in the ring. It's all a big mental thing. So anyway, I've got a thing where I get about 2-3 weeks before the fight and I kind of have a weekend off. And it's just to allow me to mentally reset. So I was training on Friday, so I went down to the gym. I did commando, so I did all my fitness, all my body weight stuff. And then for the second session, our coach was actually away, so he wasn't in the gym. So I actually took a session on Friday night where I just did the coach's job of ensuring people were boxing properly, making sure sparring goes safely, things like that, which was a really, really good learning experience. And like I said, if you've obviously seen previous videos, I do talk a lot about potentially coaching and things in the future. So it was a nice taster for myself to be able to take a session and kind of have a feel for it. And for feedback from a few people, that seemed to go pretty well and they were happy with it. And, all the feedback was positive. So I'm happy in that regard. So that was Friday. Saturday, I was training Saturday morning. So we went to the gym. We were doing some, 1-minute blitzes on the bag, minute on, minute off. We did about 10 of them. We did some light technical sparring, but it was all just fitness stuff, really. Finished that, got home, had some toasted Mexican chicken wraps, which Mexican chicken is just this pink sauce. It's like almost like a Cajun mayo. It's just one of my favorite things, and you get it from a deli in Newcastle. So I had that. That was absolutely phenomenal. And then Sunday morning, went down to Manchester to meet the family. So got the bus first thing in the morning. Didn't have really great sleep. That was the only problem because I was training late on Friday and then up early on Saturday. Then I was up early as well on Sunday. I think it was up about 7 o'clock. The only bad thing is that I didn't get good sleep over the weekend, which isn't great for the recovery. So anyway, I went to Manchester on the Sunday. We got there. I think I had some chicken bites, some Wetherspoons. Pretty much didn't have anything all day. And then I had 2 beers and we had a burger out in Miller and Carter with the family. And again, I don't really drink, but the reason I had 2 beers was more of like a psychological thing, a bit of a weird one. Like, I'm not saying this is a normal or good thing to do, but it's a weird thing that I do, and boxers do have weird superstitions. So, a lot of us fighters will do something odd before fights. But so I had 2 beers, literally just to kind of, I don't even know, mentally reset myself and give me a bit of an urgent kick up the ass. I had them. I had a burger from Miller and Carter. And then we stayed in the Easy Hotel in Manchester. That was far too hot, and I had another really bad night's sleep. So got home yesterday, which was Monday night. And then that was the trip done. Obviously, we went down as well, saw the football, saw United playing. Thought we were going to get an absolute hiding by Arsenal. But if anything, actually, we should have won. So, it was the first time I've actually enjoyed watching a Man United game this calendar year. because for the last 2-3 months particularly, we've been absolutely woeful. But yeah, so I got back on Monday evening. I said I was pretty tired and stuff because I had about, at that point, 3 days of bad sleep. So yeah, just chilled out at home. That would have been the Sunday and Monday off, which is only 2 rest days anyway. So that brought us to Tuesday. So we've been at work. Now we're going training. So I'm going to do 3K of running to warm up. And then I'm going to do some sprints. And then I'm going to do some legs. But I'm going to take 20 kilos off and just do 80s. And just try and really get the explosive speed going now. Because I don't want to slow myself down too much now. But yeah, so obviously the reason why I've not been about for, 3 days or not been filming or anything is just because I've just kind of needed that mental reset to really get me in the zone. So it's my last, I'm going to probably do 5 days of hard training now, taking me up to Sunday. And then everything next week will just be moving, keeping sharp, just getting a bit of a sweat going, just kind of staying on top of things. But this is the last week. So like I said, I wanted to have a few days off, eat a bit of crap, see the family, even had 2 beers just to kind of consolidate me going into this week now and push hard this week. In my head, I've had a massive session and I've ruined all my fitness. So that means I'm going to really, really push on this week. And then I'll get this week done. Next week will be clean eating, just getting the energy levels up, plenty of good carbs. I'll be doing a few of my pre-fight secrets, which you can see at the time. And yeah, and then we'll be looking good, looking ready to go. But like I said, I haven't really thought of boxing since Saturday morning because, like I said, I've been doing a lot of training. I feel quite well prepared in terms of fitness technique. We were meant to fight in October, but our show got cancelled with our gym. We were meant to fight them before that in July, but it got cancelled. So all in all, it just for me now, rather than me kind of almost being like, I just want it over and done with, I've been training flat out. Now I'm pretty much ready to go and raring. So when it gets to next week, I won't be, having little treats or anything, or I'll not be thinking, I can't wait till it's over so I can eat X, Y, and Z, because this weekend gone, I had a few chocolates in Manchester, had my burger out, had a beer. So, you know what I mean? I've had all the niceties, and now all of a sudden I want to work myself super hard again. So we'll do our work in the gym. I think I'll do some plyometrics for the upper body as well, just a few push-ups and squat jumps and stuff. And it's literally just going to be fitness and that. And like I said, probably not going to hit a bag because we'll be on the bags and stuff tomorrow, but I could even get home and do a bit of shadow boxing. But mentally feeling good and reset, ready for next big 2 weeks coming up. And all in all, can't complain. So yeah, that's what's been happening, and it's time to tick on. I'll start discussing as well in the next week or so, kind of certain elements that happen. So maybe we'll look at what entrance music we can have, fight tactics. We can discuss a few things as well about who I'm fighting and what my approach is based on my opponent's style. And yeah, then we can look at food, obviously psychology, and how all that kind of comes into it, because I think boxing is one of the sports that, like I said, obviously it's very, very physical, but a massive, massive part is played with the mind. People, you'll have heard yourself things, certain fighters will fight, and, Muhammad Ali's and this, that, and the other, that are psychologically so good in getting them in opponents' heads. You've heard statements like, he was beat before he was even in the ring and whatnot. So it just shows you how much the right mindset or, the not right mindset can really affect things. Even like in recent years, boxers, you know what I mean? Like sometimes it can be a case of being so confident, they take their eyes off their opponents. They can be, thinking they're real trained and real fit, and they go all guns blazing and then get caught. There's kind of a million ways. There's a lot of things you need to keep rationalized in the head and keep on top of mentally. It's the same thing as well. You can start getting paranoid. Am I gonna, what happens if I forget to box on the night? What happens if he storms over and punches my head in? Even though, you've sparred and trained before, you know how to defend a punch, you know how to move back with one, but for some reason you think, what if on the night I can't do it, or whatever, or I'm gonna trip on the ropes and face plant and smash my, every thought can happen. So yeah, we'll discuss about things like that, and like I said, we'll just train away hard this week, and then next week it'll be a completely different ball game altogether, and we'll be discussing some of that mental side.